Welcome to Freeform Radio on the Freeform Network. You can follow us at Facebook at Freeform Network, on X at FFR Podcast. And remember, send your questions and suggestions to ffnquestions@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. That's how we interact with your fans at the top of social media. Again, Freeform Radio, we got Daniel.
Yes, sir. Back in the cut here. Ready to get this record on.
We got Noel.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us again.
And it's all good, Andy. Hope everybody has enjoyed their Labor Day weekend. When this episode drops, should have passed already. And that's the end for summer, and fall's up next. But the gang's out here. We're glad you're listening. Let's jump right into it. Danny looks like he went to some legitimate theater here. What happened? What'd you go check out, Danny?
Yeah, we went to the Cadillac Theater, I think it's called, so near downtown Chicago, to watch the Back to the Future musical. We just went just recently, and luckily the weather was nice. The theater was nice. Parking was close, so it was a really good time. The musical was really cool. I had seen something popped up on Facebook, like a trailer, something showed up. So I watched this trailer, and I'm like, man, we got to go check this thing out. Tickets were a little on the pricey side, or at least for my taste, but we ended up getting them. And me and Alana and Junior went, and to be honest, I didn't think they were going to enjoy it, but yeah, afterwards they came out fans of musicals, or at least this musical for sure.
So is it based off the individual movie or the whole trilogy?
No, this is just based off of the first movie. They do take some liberties with the whole movie, so it's not 100% recreation. There's some parts that they change, like Doc Brown doesn't get shot by terrorists. He gets radiation poisoning and dies. What other things did they change? They changed the Twin Peaks or Twin Pine whole theme there, where he goes into the farm and kind of goes over the actual pine. So they cut that part, and then they inserted a few other things. They don't get hit by a car. McFly falls off the tree. He doesn't get hit by a car. So stuff like that, they ended up changing for the sake of the musical, so that it could hit these beats. But it was pretty cool. A lot of the hit songs from Back to the Future, which Back to the Future has one of the better soundtracks. So really good music. They threw in a bunch of stuff that they invented, obviously. Stuff like Doc Brown just singing about, gigawatts and whatnot. So they're just making up songs about every little theme inside Back to the Future. But it was really cool, man. The theater was very nice. It looked, like you would think of a theater, like big time, big class, like people with money go there. Even though for this, it did bring out some more of the gamers, casual fans. There was people sporting Legend of Zelda shirts and stuff like that. So not necessarily big time money in the theater, but it did look very nice. A packed house. The show was sold out, and yeah, everything was really nice. I was kind of intimidated and worried a little bit about, downtown Chicago. You hear about all these, muggings, stabbings, and stuff like that. So I was kind of worried being with my family that something would happen. But no, man, there was so many people. Our parking was really close, so not much to worry about, and it was a good time for the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
When you told me about this, I was kind of like, what? Like, usually when they make musicals off of movies or anything like pop culture, it's not really successful. I mean, Spider-Man comes to mind real quick. I think Army of Darkness, they did one, and Now this, it's interesting that they keep making it, but it sounds like there is an audience for it. So as long as you enjoy it, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure. Go ahead.
It's definitely not what I would have imagined. Back to the Future having a musical, but yeah, I guess it could work. I could see it working. I'm actually curious now, like if there's videos online where you could see part of this like musical and all that, just to see like how it would be.
I gotta say that, man. I've been to a few musicals. Back when I was dating Alana, we used to go to musicals on a few occasions, plays and ballets and stuff like that. So it's the first time I've gone to the Cadillac theater, but I've been to others by there. And yeah, man, this one by far uses the most tech. They had light shows. They had like these like I would call them like 3D graphics because they pull a sheet over the front of the stage and they project images on there while the cast is behind it acting. So it gives like this illusion like there's something there that's not actually there. You know, it's like obviously like it's fake. You know, the DeLorean's not flying through the sky kind of thing. But it looks so good because it's, you know, pitch dark in the theater and you got this image in front of the cast and it looks reasonable. And then obviously they got the live props, so they got the DeLorean there on stage, and they got other things, his workbench and stuff like that for Doc Brown. And I gotta say, man, the two or three scenes where the car's actually driving and it's going, doing the Back to the Future thing with all the lights and everything, it looks awesome, man. It looks really cool. The way they pulled out the tech, it looks really nice. I could just imagine like the pitch to whoever owns the rights, Universal or whoever, and going like, all right, this is our idea. This is some of our concept of what we can try to do and how to visualize it in the theater form. And to me, it was definitely worth it. It was really awesome, to be honest.
Yeah,
Now,
there's a lot of clips of musicals of pop culture like Army of Darkness. I think there was a Superman one, the Spider-Man. You could see them on YouTube, and it's pretty. It's different. It's wacky. Some people love it. I don't know. I watched some of it and clips of certain things, but oh yeah, I mean, check it out there. I'm pretty sure there's clips of it there.
yeah, I have to take a look, man, because I'm curious to see, is it more heavily focused on the singing, or is there like a play, like where it's, they're actually acting and acting stuff out. It's not just singing.
Yeah, it's definitely more singing because it's a musical. Like I went to see Beauty and the Beast, the play, and it's just actors playing in sets, kind of like a high school play kind of thing. So that it's more akin to that, except higher production.
Right.
And where this is more, they sing everything. So as Biff is trying to beat up Marty, and they're kind of running around, kind of fighting. They're singing in it, so they're singing, dancing. There's background actors kind of doing their thing. So it is definitely more to that.
Now let me ask you then, going off of that, does it have that 50s vibe like that movie with John Travolta, Grease, or like Happy Days, like that 50s vibe?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of the songs have that like old school vibe. They have like at the end they have like a surprise for all the people that stuck around, past the credits in quotation. So they have this little tidbit at the end, and they have a little mini concert where they play a couple songs with Marty and the Pinheads, and it was cool, man. It was really cool. A lot of nostalgia stuff. When you walked into the theater, they were selling swag, really expensive, but they were selling like Marty McFly's jacket, that red jacket, the life preserver thing, and then they were selling just a bunch of Back to the Future stuff. But it was awesome, man. I mean, expensive, but it was awesome. I bought 3 waters, a cookie, and Skittles, and it was $25. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, man. But whatever, it was a good time. I'm glad that Alana and especially Junior, I didn't think he was gonna dig it at all. He wasn't really excited for the show at all. He was just like, do I have to go? And it's just like, yeah, let's go check it out. So hopefully it kind of sold him a little bit onto it, so that if we go to another play or something, maybe not another musical, but a play, for sure, maybe he'll be more interested. But yeah, man, we'll have to see what's the next one to come. Me and Alana, we used to do a lot more stuff before we had Junior. We used to go to like Christmas plays and a bunch of other stuff. It was a really good time to go downtown and just spend some time. Um, but yeah, speaking on Chicago, man, I'm not sure if any of you guys watched. I know Noel, you're not big into football, but Andy, have you been watching the Hard Knocks Chicago Bears preseason? It's been a good show, man. I'm not sure if you've got a chance to tune into any of it.
Yeah, I watched the first couple of episodes, then I kind of stopped, but I'd like to hear your take on it.
Yeah, I think right now they're on episode 4. They got one more to go. The preseason is over. As of this recording, the first game is next week, and I believe this Tuesday will be the final episode 5. So I'm guessing, since the first 4 episodes are the actual games, I'm guessing that episode 5 is going to be more about trimming the roster. And there's some good players that they build background stories on, where they kind of show kind of vignettes on them. So it's going to be interesting to see who they decide to cut, even though as of the time of the viewing, I think most people know the 52 roster. I believe they've announced it already. So not much is left to imagination for people who are diehard Bears fans. They already know who the 52 is, but I'm assuming this last episode is going to go around that. I'm interested to hear your take, Andy. What's your feeling with the coach, Eberflus, man? The show kind of makes him seem like he's really involved with everything, the defense, offense, special teams. I'm like, man, this guy's like an all-around coach.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was, in the immortal words of a wrestler, it's a work, brother. I mean, everything, like the first 2 episodes, he was like so involved with Caleb Williams. He was like, they're like, oh yeah, progression. Like he's doing his keywords and like evolve, and like he's there having one-on-one meetings with them. Like they're a defensive, like you used to be a defensive coordinator. Like what the fuck do you know about being a quarterback's coach? And then like I would figure you would see more with him, Caleb Williams, more and more with the QB coach, and like how they're like building them up, and they would have meetings. Like Eberflus would be a part of it or something, but the 2 episodes I saw made it sound like he was like super involved in like the offensive side of the ball, and I'm like I don't like that. And then they started focusing like on his look and all this, and this party they had at this mansion like by the lakefront. Did you see that? It was that like episode 2, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling this, man. Like to me, it's like it seemed like it was like so fake, like. And then like I had to stop to watch. The football part of it was cool. I liked some of the character building, like with the people trying to make the team. Like I could get behind that because that's kind of real. But other than that, like yeah, the whole Eberflus, Caleb, and like to me, it just like wrestling, man. It's a work. That's the feeling I got from it.
No, for sure. You could tell that there's some, scripted events, stuff to make good on TV. But I think for the most part, it's pretty good as far as it's showing a lot of the players, some kind of the drama between trying to make the team. So it definitely showed a lot of the backup players. I felt like the first 2 episodes or so were mostly about the starters, Caleb, obviously, coming to be a quarterback. And I feel like these last 2, at least, have been more about backups and players trying to make the team. So I think it was good to put a little shine on the Chicago Bears. It's obviously a very exciting year. We got this rookie quarterback with a lot of good players. Offense is looking pretty sharp. Defense is looking great. So there's a lot of optimism right now with the Bears. So it's definitely exciting. But like you said, Andy, I think it does look a little fake at times, unless Eberflus is just really that involved. My guess is it's kind of trying to make it look nice for the cameras, but in realistic, it's not. He's not like that, I would guess.
there's two or three things that made me seem like this is like not authentic, I guess. One, there's no swearing, right? You notice that no one swears.
Well, I did see
Yeah,
that in the news that the McCaskies officially asked that they would trim down their swearing, that they didn't want to come
yeah.
off as, like a profanity laced team.
And that from Papa George Hallis was like a notorious curse like a sailor. Two, they were like so open about talking about contracts and money. And like DJ Moore's like, yeah, let's take care of his family. Like, let's get like, there's Ryan Poles behind a desk talking to somebody like, yeah, let's do this. Let's take care of him. And they just call him up. Here, sign this contract. Like, here's your money. Like, that was another thing that seemed like, man, this is so theatrical. Like, I didn't like that at all. And then the third thing, it escapes my mind right now, but like to me, that was like those two things right off the bat. It just stuck in my head. Like, I don't know, man. Like, to me, that's why I kind of stopped watching it. I thought it was gonna be more reality based, but to me, it was just like, yeah, just it's just like they're making stuff, not making stuff up. They're putting on a show.
Right, right. No, I think that definitely is a part of it. Trying to make Chicago a very appealing team, and I think for the most part, for casual fans, this definitely is more for them. So I think in that sense, I think it was definitely a success. But let's jump over to Noel for his week, man. I see you watched the new Aliens movie, man. I keep hearing good stuff about it. I heard that it's like a really good movie that continues the series. Fill us in on what you're feeling, man.
So yeah, I saw this one a couple weeks back. I think it was like the same opening weekend, and I went in there hyped, man. I saw the trailer for it like months leading up to it, and it just looked really cool. And I've always been a fan of the Alien series, and there's like I want to say like 5 movies in the series right now. This one is kind of in between Alien and Aliens, so the first and second movies that came out, and Ridley Scott had a say in the production. I don't know if he was like a consultant or something along those lines. And the actors, while they're not like relatively well known, they held their own. It was actually believable acting. And then obviously you got your alien in there, the xenomorphs and all that. It's super cool, and it also ties into Prometheus in a way. I don't want to give spoilers. It's still a recent movie, so people that haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. I would give this one like an 8.3 out of 10. And again, I'm a little biased. I like the franchise, the series. So I'm a little biased, but I thought it was really well done. There's a few things I would have changed, but that's like any movie. So definitely creepy too. More like more based in that like survival horror aspect of like Alien 1 and 2. So I think people that like those original ones are gonna really enjoy this one. It takes place, like I said, in between, and it's instead of the other base that Ripley was on. It deals with Romulus, which is like the other side of this like massive base that has the all the creatures and stuff that lead to the xenomorphs being born. But yeah, I mean, have you guys had any thoughts about watching it or?
Yeah, man. To me, I'm really interested in it. I heard, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that it's kind of gory, like a slasher movie. Is that right?
Yeah, it's definitely gory. But I wouldn't say necessarily slasher, but there's plenty of blood. There's plenty of stuff that goes on. People getting just messed up by these xenomorphs, and
I heard like
it's
practical effects.
yeah. It was surprising, man. Just like it looked realistic. Like it felt like I was watching this movie in the 70s, like when the original Aliens came out, but I'm watching it here in 2024. So it's nostalgic, man. And even though it's a new movie with new characters and all that, I was on board and I was like, let's do it, man. Like hopefully this will be direction they go in, right? Because technically you could do more with it. I'm not going to spoil and tell you how it ends, but it leaves an opening to do more. So I'm curious to see if they will.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe not a theater watch, but definitely once it comes to TV, definitely have to watch it.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. I can't wait to get that on 4K. Watch it on the OLED over here. It'll be great, man. But yeah, so that's my little quick review. Definitely do recommend it if you're a horror fan, you're an Alien fan, give it a shot. It's I really don't think you'll be disappointed. It's got some good dramatic moments, some like creepy moments, and a lot of blood and gore and all that.
So,
Um,
real quick, though, do you consider it a sequel to Prometheus, or is it Prometheus is like they talk about it and like that's it?
um, so I would say it's in the same, obviously, universe of Prometheus, but it wouldn't be like a direct sequel. But it kind of is because if you remember Alien One, you remember like the what was it, the synthetics or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
the yeah. And by the way, did you guys know that Blade Runner and Alien are in the same universe?
I
I
So
didn't
didn't know
know
that.
yeah, so replicants are pretty much the synthetics, like the AI fucking androids that look like humans and all that. The replicants in Blade Runner are the same universe as the alien synthetic dudes. And anyway, the guy in the first one, the synthetic, whose like main mission is to get a xenomorph alive and bring it back to like the company or whatever. So that synthetic is an alien Romulus. I hope that's not a big spoiler. It's pretty cool. It's pretty early on too, so you'll see it throughout the movie that they utilize him in a way to bring back that horror aspect of it. That the company will never give up on its mission, no matter how many people it's got to throw it to the freaking fire, dude. It was cool. And I would say it's more a direct sequel to one because it has that synthetic in it. The one that got real messed up, like the old man that he still they used a combination of practical effects and CG for him because obviously he's a lot older now. I don't know if he's still alive. I mean, I don't know, but um, it was cool. It was really well done, and there's mention of the Prometheus genome. So in a way, kind of a sequel of Prometheus, but it's not like directly a sequel. Like it's not like right after that or anything like that. But yeah, moving on. I'm a big horror fan, so I've been trying to play some games in the horror genre. And I actually just finally got around to playing Onimusha Warlords, which is at this point a really old game, man. Talking about 20 years ago it came out, PS2. Um, Back in the PS2, I didn't like the tank controls. And obviously the quality wasn't like the greatest. You know, you're playing at like 480i or whatever it is. And so playing it on PC, 4K, 60 frames a second, on a nice controller, the modern day PS5 controller that I'm using on Bluetooth, man, it was such a cool time. It's a really cool game, and very much enjoyed it. A little bit on the shorter side. It's actually like a really fast game to finish. Probably one of the quicker ones that I've played recently, but definitely worth it. I'm excited to try to play the other ones now. I know there's probably I think like another two or three sequels, so I'm interested in playing that. And have you guys you've played it right, Daniel and Musha?
Yeah, for sure. I just beat it recently, maybe in the last year, because they, like you said, they re-released it, so it's got upgraded graphics, whatever you call that, but not a remake, but like just an upres, and they tightened up the controls a little bit. But yeah, man, I played it on PlayStation 4, and to me, it was awesome. I remember playing it back. I think it was PlayStation 2 that it originally came out for, and it was good then. Now, obviously, it's kind of dated and it's a little older, but it's one of those games that still had those pre-rendered backgrounds, kind of like the old Resident Evil games. So
Yeah.
it just made everything look really pretty, but it made the camera real limited on what it could move. But yeah, to me, it was always one of my favorites. So when they had the re-release, I definitely had to pick it up and beat that one again. But no, it was real good.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that Resident Evil comment because yeah, I mean it's made by Capcom, who made Resident Evil franchise, and it definitely has like a samurai Resident Evil feel to it. And I really like the combat. I thought it was really cool, man. Have you played it, Andy?
I have not, man.
Uh,
Sorry, I thought not. This was a little bit out of my realm.
ah, well, yeah. I mean, for anybody that's a fan of like the Resident Evil genre or Capcom, definitely recommend it. Like Daniel said, on PS4, or you can get it on PC the way I got it. Either way, you're gonna enjoy it. Another game I played recently, Doom 3 BFG edition, or Big Fucking Gun edition. Have you guys ever played this one, Doom 3?
What was the last one when all the rights got cleared up? Wasn't it on PlayStation 3? You made one? I think that's the last one I played.
That might have been this one. That might have been Doom
Yeah.
3. Um, yeah, so this came out a while back. Like there was a 2016 Doom, and then there's like a 2020 Doom Eternal, I think. But before those two was this one, Doom 3 BFG, which is like, yeah, I want to say like 10, 15 years ago at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
that might be it.
and it was not a long game either. It's kind of a quick one. A little longer than Onimusha for sure, but a little bit of a quicker playthrough. Really quick. It's if you've played Doom, then Doom 3 is not much different than the first two. You're in Mars, and there's like a colony there where people are like doing scientific experiments. They're trying to open this portal, and this like evil scientist opens up the portal to another dimension, which is essentially hell. But I mean, they kind of make it seem like it's like aliens, right? Which I mean, I guess it depends how you look at it. Aliens could be demons, could be hell. We don't know, right? But that's what it essentially happens in the game, and it's just a wild ride, like from the get go. Once the all hell breaks loose, it's like Event Horizon if you've ever seen that movie where they open the gate and then boom, like the ship is like overtaken by all these like demons and just evil incarnate. So that's Doom 3 essentially. You do get a massive array of guns, and it's a first person shooter. I would recommend it more on PC. I think you said it was available on PS3 or on consoles, but for me, controller FPS is a little more difficult and just doesn't make as much logical sense to play it on console as compared to like a keyboard and mouse on PC. So I recommend it on PC. I would probably give that like an 8 out of 10. It was a really good, cool story, and just like a lot of like just gunfighting and aliens and demons and all that stuff. If you like horror games, this is like one of the more like shooter. It's like a balanced shooter and like survival horror, because you do have to like kind of be strategic about how you interact with these and like fight these demons, because they will kill you. They will light you up. They have plasma guns and all sorts of shit. So really cool game. Creepy too if you play it at night and in a dark room and all. It's got a creepy atmosphere.
Yeah, I did hear it's that it is like a horror game almost, because it's got like all these closed corridor fighting, and it's got like all this creepy lighting. It's one of the Doom's games that I've been meaning to play just because it does look almost like a Resident Evil game.
Yeah, no, it's definitely got its moments, man. It caught me a few times, dude. It caught me a few times where like it startled me. I was like, oh snap! Like these guys just come out of nowhere, and you fight all sorts of little like creepy looking demons, man. They had some cool concept designs on how to make these creatures look. And if you've played the original Doom 1 and 2, it's essentially that, but like upgraded to modern day graphics where it's not pixelated. So it looks phenomenal, runs great. Again, I played at 4K on a PC, keyboard and mouse. To me, that's the way to go. And the last game, actually, the reason I say this one for last, I know you're actually playing it right now, is Indigo Prophecy. I finally beat this one. This is another one that came out back a long time ago, 2000 or PS2 era. So I've been kind of like playing my backlog essentially, and Indigo Prophecy, man, very much a story-driven game. Um, the gameplay is a little different than what you'd expect out of a game like this. It's a story where you play both sides. You play as a detective, like a duo, two detectives that work together to solve a crime, as well as the actual criminal that committed the crime. So you play both sides, and you can kind of choose to either hide the evidence or to allow the cops to solve the crime much quicker. And so you do have some like choice options that will change the course of the of events, but essentially you're always going to get to the same end result. And it was a unique story, man. Definitely a horror, more on the like occult, um, just like a strange, dark, and mysterious story in the game. And I don't want to spoil it for. I mean, it is an old game, but I think if you haven't played it, you should go into it fresh because it's so much depends on the story. That's really what holds it all together. The gameplay mechanics, it's a little wonky, man. It's outdated. You don't see games like that anymore. That's like one of the few, if any, games that I've seen that has like this style of quick time events. Now, back in the PS2 era, there were other quick time event stuff. I think God of War had some stuff like that. There were a few other games that had quick time events, but this one, man, it relied on it heavily. You had to get that on point. Otherwise, you were not progressing. You were replaying and replaying and replaying. And yeah, there was times where I got frustrated with it, but I was determined to proceed. I was determined to see the story through, and I had to say I really enjoyed it. Um, I pass it over to you, Daniel. What do you think about Indigo Prophecy?
Yeah, I assume I'm like halfway in. To be honest, the last time I played this, and I did beat it on PlayStation 2 when it first came out, um, it was awesome, man. It really opened up my mind to this. Like I kind of call them like choose your own adventure because it gives you so many options and choices to be able to alter endings. Obviously, a lot of it is it'll kind of funnel you into a direction, but it does give you some options. So it was totally cool when I played it back in the day. Um, yeah, actually, I know you said that you haven't played too many like this. Quantum Dream, the company that made this, they're actually like known for this. So they got like Heavy Rain was another really good one that I really enjoyed. The story is really good. That one is where a father and his son becomes lost, and so the whole game is him trying to find his son and trying to go through it. It kind of takes a kind of psychological horror, kind of not horror, but psychological thriller part to it. The game after that, Beyond Two Souls, was not as good, but that's more into like the psychological, like sci-fi, and that one I didn't like as much. And then the one after that was really really good. Detroit Become Human or Detroit something like that. I forgot what the name of it is.
Yeah, I think
That
that's
one,
that's it.
yeah, something like that. That one is really good. That one's probably the best of the Quantum Dream games. But yeah, man, back to Indigo Prophecy. It was really awesome. It really opened up my mind to this style of game. And like you said, I'm replaying it, so controls are really dated and old. That's probably like the worst part of it, but the story is awesome. I actually forgot a lot of the beats since I haven't played it since PlayStation 2. So a lot of it is coming fresh. Some of it, obviously, I recall, and it's I'm like, yeah, I remember this part because it was real. It was a real big moment. But there was some stuff that I totally forgot, like doing the sketch artist thing to kind of identify the killer and stuff like that. But really cool game. Really excited to finish it up. I'm glad I restarted it based on our conversations that you were playing it.
No, I agree, man. Yeah, it's definitely worth playing. So, yeah, but that's pretty much it, man, for my week. And let's throw it over to Andy, man. So, yeah, I heard about this Venezuelan gang that's been like taking over Colorado. I think Aurora, Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. What are your thoughts on it, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things that's that was trending a lot this weekend, Labor Day weekend. But I mean, I seen like a handful of videos of guys going like apartment. I mean, the one video that I'm pretty sure everyone's seen is a guy with like a AK or something and a hand. One guy with a handgun. There, one guy with he's always on the phone. They're going to like apartments, telling them stuff. The reports started to come on. The police, people are saying they told the police, and the police is not really gonna. I guess they're trying to verify it or something. They don't know what to do, the optics of it, and then they're asking the feds to do something. They're not really doing anything. Some council people came out and said that they're aware of it, but they don't know how to handle it because the way it looks, and they're asking people, the gangs are asking them to pay them the rent now or something. It's like it's messed up. Everything that you read, and now the new thing is that some biker gangs are driving out there allegedly to stand up to these people. It's something like to fight them off and get these apartments back. It's like some type, like you can't, when you read this stuff, you're like, this is going on in America. Like this is like some third world shit, right? Third world country stuff. And the way it's handled in the media, no one's really talking about it. It was just like the local media is, but nationally, all you know is what you see on social media. And because again, it's people that were left it came in here through the border, the open border under this current administration, that they're trying to get tough now on because of the election. And then it's just another bad look for the current party that's in power, and with the money that they've been giving out this, and long term, like I just don't know. First of all, I can't believe people just give this shit up. I guess I don't know. Colorado, Aurora, I don't know. Denver's a big city. I don't know how big Aurora is. I was watching a video of Aurora, Carson City or something, or there's like that whole area of like neighboring areas is like this is where all this shit's going down. Um, I don't know, man. What do you do? Do you guys read anything about it? Like so many. You're also seeing scams. Some of these immigrants, undocumented or whatever you want to call them, coming to people dressed as like uh, Amazon drivers and trying to get to people open the door so they can fucking rob them and all this. That's a lot of videos. You've been seeing a lot of that too. You guys start on this, or do you know anything about it?
The only thing I know is just the basics that, essentially the headline that this Venezuelan gang is, just causing all sorts of chaos out here in Aurora, Colorado. And it was more from like a political channel, so they kind of put their political spin on it, saying how yeah, this is what you get in a blue state and all that. And I can't disagree with them, but at the same time, it's like it's crazy that it's even a conversation that we're entertaining. Like, how has this even gotten to this point? Like, where's the law and order? But I don't know, man. It's crazy times.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even know much about this at all until I saw it on your notes here. The only thing I did see, to your point, that supposedly like these bikers were riding over Hell's Angels, and that they were going over to Colorado. But I just kind of saw that in passing and didn't really know what was the reasoning behind that. Like, why were they even going over there? And yeah, I'm kind of just while you were talking, I was going through Twitter or X, and I did find some stuff, people talking about it. But to be honest, I didn't really know about it. So hopefully the situation is not too bad. Um, this is the kind of stuff that, to me, I don't care about the optics. You can't have cities running out of control. You have to take control, go in there. This is where the VP, she wants to be president. This is when you got to come in front of the camera and tell people, we're not going to let this happen. We're not going to let American cities be overtaken by anybody. So we're going to handle it, and we're going in there, and we're going to take care of this. So to me, you got to go in there and you got to really clean it up, man. You can't have cities getting taken over by, foreign, well, anybody. I guess anybody in general, even if they were Americans trying to take over a city.
If this was some type of like mob thing, there would be an investigation and like racketeering or something like that when you're forcing people to pay you or whatever of price fixing or some shit like this. But the way the climate is now, I think people are scared to say anything because, yeah, I get it. Social media can be full of a lot of bullshit, but it's been going on for like, I don't want to say a week, but the last couple of days it's really ramped up with local people. Like you said, Noel, like there's people putting their political slant, but there are a lot of posts of the local news. They're talking to council, aldermen, and city people. Um, the police has made a comment. They're like, we're looking into this. So to me, at least, leads me to believe that the people that's affected are not going to the police because they're probably undocumented or some shit like that. But people notice that stuff is going around when they walk around these cities. Um, uh, so something's going on. Can it be dramatized or being, for the news? Absolutely, but I don't know, man. I see more and more people talking about it. I did see the interview from like the Denver. She said that like they're afraid to do something because of the way it looks, and they don't want to send people in there rounding up, like always, like the race thing, and it looks very bad, or they're not sure what to do or how to handle it. And I think they're trying to dump it on the feds, and the feds are like, we don't know what this is, like a local matter or something. I don't know. I know Trump made a comment about it already, talking about he'll restore order and like deport all these people. And right away, people came in attacking him, saying he's racist, and all that shit. But because that doesn't impact them. I mean, who knows the people that it's impacting? I'm sure it's probably immigrants and like people that are undocumented that it's affecting the most. But like you said, what are they gonna do? They're not gonna go to the cops. They're probably afraid they're gonna get deported or something, or I don't know. This is what's probably going on, like always. But yeah, man, it's let us know what you guys think at ffnquestions@gmail.com. But it is it's pretty interesting. That's the how in the nobody in the national media or in the Sunday morning speakers like today, nobody really talked about it. And to me, that means not that they're trying to cover up; they don't want to talk about it because it's true, like everything. The other big scam I saw or thing trending on Twitter this weekend was the Chase Bank glitch. Did you guys hear about this?
Something where people trying to scam for money or something.
Yeah. So usually when you deposit a check, right, into your account, it usually takes a couple days to clear. Like any bank, 2 to 3 days. So they found out that uh, somebody found out that if you deposit money into your account through a fake check, and it's like thousands of dollars, somehow Chase was letting them pull out that money as an emergency. They didn't have to wait to verify, allegedly. So people started going in there and putting like $10,000 checks, and then the glitch was where they let you take out that money, and people were pulling out like $6,000. The max they would let you take out. There was people on Twitter running around flashing all this money, and then you saw these massive lines of people at the Chases putting in like checks and pulling money out. Like it was fucking crazy. So I think Chase caught on pretty quick. And what happened is people started posting their accounts where they're like negative like $40,000, and I seen one negative like 120,000. They're like saying like they're like draining their accounts. If they have savings or checking, they were draining all that shit. And people are saying now they're posting like, what am I gonna do? Like, what the fuck? But then on the other end, you saw people with like ton of cash just driving around with Chase cards and shit. And all of Twitter was just like, these people are idiots. Like, you're all going to jail. It's not a glitch. You're writing a check that doesn't have funds. That's like fraud. And people are, I think now they're like, what are they gonna do? What's the bank gonna do? Because there's multiple videos of long lines at Chase ATMs.
Man, I'm a little surprised they were able to get away with it. And in like a modern day age, it's crazy to see that like these glitches still exist. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
well, that's the conspiracy people came out that this was let be done on purpose, um, because at my bank, the bank that I use, every time I do a mobile deposit, that was another thing. You can do a mobile deposit. It says it's going to take a day to do to clear, or they let you take out like $10 or something. But if I pay a fee, they'll let me take out the full amount, up to a certain amount or something, like, which is like a couple bucks. But I guess Chase, their glitch was like you put 20,000, they'll let you pull out the whole 20,000 that same day. It's some emergency type of thing. And like you said, Noel, like how can Chase, one of the biggest banks in this country, allow this to happen? Like it didn't make sense. And people started posting like their screenshots of their account, like it's in the red, like 40,000, 99,000. And
damn,
then
dude.
it was just like people are like they're posting like I ruined my life. I ruined my life. Like you're someone wrote, you just ruined your credit, bro, and you might go to jail.
That's crazy though. Man, I would not want to be in that position. That's for sure, dude.
And one guy posted like his account, and in the bottom he had his credit card debt, which was like 7 grand. And someone wrote, "Why didn't you pull that money out and pay out that credit card first, bro?" But yeah, like always, man, people just doing, I don't know, man. This country, they just doing dumb shit, man. I get it, like people trying to get a quick buck, but this one didn't. When I first heard it, like it didn't make sense to me. I thought it was like the glitches. You go to ATM and it was letting you pull out extra money when you only the certain amount if you did something. But no, it was just simple. Like you put the money in and then they let you take out the full amount that you deposited without them doing the 2 day verifying or whatever when you deposit a check. There wasn't a glitch. It was just they weren't verifying it, and I think something happened, and people just like always with the internet or with social media, it just goes viral. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy what's going on in social media. People just be posting all sorts of stuff, and like that was the two that caught my eye this weekend. And the other thing with the AI today, I was kind of like I sent you guys the pictures. I was just like setting on my computer, and I saw the Copilot that we get on my new Microsoft computer, and I was asking it to update our logo. At first, I need a new logo for the show, and it created like these generic ones. They're like, "Do you want it with a microphone?" And I'm like, "Sure." But then I uploaded our logo, the one for the show, and then that I sent you guys the one where we look like Prometheus, right? The blue ones. Wasn't that like trippy?
Yeah, I was like not creeped out, but I was like, oh, this is a little bit
Like
unsettling. Like,
alien-esque, right?
I'm like, why does it keep like wanting to use that style of representation? I don't know. I was like, that's weird, dude. It was on topic though. I was like, all right, Prometheus, and like, yeah, it got me. That's when I came up. I'm like, oh yeah, I saw Alien Romulus, so that's when I added it to the list to talk about.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like the. Go ahead, Danny.
No, I was just gonna say it did look weird. That was the first thing that popped in my head. I'm like, there's some aliens thing.
The green one looked. The green it chose to me like it reminded like it was very marijuana green, right? And I was just like, this looks like weed colors here. That's why I asked it, can you make it in a blue background? And then it gave me, and then that's when the aliens really popped. And I'm like, ah, man, I don't know what this co-pilot thing is thinking. But yeah, I mean, I was like messing around with it, and I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, what else can we ask this thing to design? Because I know it's free or preview version they gave me. So if we pay for a full one, like how good is it gonna be, right? That's the only thing I don't know. Because you guys pay for any of the AI or Chat GPT or anything like that?
No, I've been wanting to use it. The most that I've done with AI is try to upscale older videos, and it looks too obvious. And the ones that do it the best, they cost like a tremendous amount of money. It's like for Hollywood studios to like purchase. We're talking about thousands of dollars. So I'm like, nah, I'm not about to spend that just for AI.
Yeah, to me,
Can it edit our episodes?
I've only used the free stuff. I don't know even know that there was a paid version.
Yeah, there's paid ones. I think Copilot, what they gave us is free, but I think there's like a subscription one you can get. But I haven't really looked into it and how well it can do it, you know. But yeah, with that being said, like AI and all that, and social media, that what we just talked about, that's going to take us into our article of the week. So the article leads into something that we kind of ran into issues when we were doing our recording during the pandemic and towards the end. Zuckerberg, who owns Meta, Facebook, Instagram, and some other stuff, came out this week and said that the White House pressured Facebook over some COVID-19 content during the pandemic. And this was like a big talking thing going on during the pandemic when we were posting memes and shit like that, and people posting. Some of it was bullshit. I mean, I can agree to that. But people who were posting, like doctors and some scientists were posting stuff, and they were getting banned off the platform, or they were being called some type of like fact checks and stuff like that, which were not true. Well, that came out because Zuckerberg said senior Biden administration officials pressured Facebook to censor some COVID-19 content during the pandemic, and vowed that the social media giant would push back if it faced such demands again. But Zuckerberg sent a letter to Jim Jordan, the chair of a judiciary committee, alleges that officials, including those from the White House, repeatedly pressured Facebook for months to take down certain COVID-19 content including humor and satire. He says officials expressed a lot of frustration when the company didn't agree. The letter is the latest repudiation by Zuckerberg of efforts to target misinformation around the coronavirus pandemic during and after the 2020 election. He stated, "I also think we made some choices that the benefit of hindsight and new information we wouldn't make today. We're ready to push back if something happens like this again." The White House did put out a statement: "When confronted with a deadly pandemic, this administration encouraged responsible actions to protect the public health and safety. Our position has been clear and consistent. We believe tech companies and other private actors should take into account the effects of their actions have on American people while making independent choices about information they present." So the article goes on to other stuff. One of the things that I did notice, which they threw in there, Zuckerberg said he would no longer donate money to wedding election access for voters. I don't know what that means, but it was trying to create people to vote. What do you guys think? I mean, this was always the rumor when people were getting banned or deplatformed or whatever, for anything that contradicted what the CDC said during the pandemic, and we had to be careful of some of the words that we used. Not like we had this huge base, but that was one of the concerns I had when we were recording. Like, what if they don't like this? They might not let us upload the episode or whatever. But Facebook came out and said, yeah, they felt pressured and they bowed to that pressure.
Yeah, I'm curious because doesn't Facebook own Instagram as well?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was curious because they didn't really mention Instagram, I don't think, too much in the article, but I'm assuming it's the same, regardless. So if they had those regulations or whatever on Facebook, I assume it would be on Instagram too. And that to me is more impactful than Facebook. Me personally, I don't use it as much as I used to. Let's say 5, 10 years ago. I definitely use it a lot less at this point. but I know the majority of people, young and old, it pretty much bridges any age gap, use Instagram. And a lot of the younger people especially use Instagram, and that's how they get their news and all that stuff. They just kind of scroll through and get all their stuff on there. So it started getting me thinking about that, because I was like, if they had that implemented on Facebook, then the same thing would go to Instagram. And maybe during that COVID era, when it first was like at its peak, maybe that's what influenced a lot of these younger, Gen Zers or whatever you want to call it, to think in the way that they're thinking, and backing the certain, party that they're backing. But it's, you know, for them to say they'll never do it again, I don't really believe it. And hopefully there would never be a situation like that again. But it's almost like in the back of my mind that, like, there's always that possibility, if they did it once, they're gonna try to do it again and create this whole shutdown shit again. I don't know if you heard about the monkeypox and
Mhm.
all sorts of stuff. There's the mosquitoes that were infecting people with like encephalitis and on the East Coast, and 30% chance of dying. Like, there was a bunch of stuff recently. I was like, dude, don't tell me they're gonna try to start talking about vaccines again and shutting stuff down again, because that's the last thing we need right now.
Yeah, I think it's difficult, man. Social media has so much misinformation that, you know, people, I don't know, man. I don't know where to even go to get information nowadays. You go to some websites like this, like AP News, and I'd like to think that they're unbiased and, they're just going to give you the information, but it's tough, man. So many people go to social media that, uh, if stuff like this is going to be happening, AI becoming more rampant, deep fakes, stuff like that, it's going to make it very difficult to believe anything that you do see on social media. Like even this motorcycle thing, like I had mentioned earlier, with the Hells Angels driving up there. Is it real? Is it a deep fake? Is it a video from
Yeah.
5 years ago when they were going on a motorcycle trip? It's like you're not going to know what to believe and what's real and what's definitely something to be concerned about.
Yeah, it's like it's being going back to that, it's being willed to, like, let's make this happen, and all you see is videos of all these people on motorcycles going somewhere, but you don't know, like, is that, like you said, that's my thing, is it old? But they keep saying that, like, and who, I'm like always like, who fucking started that rumor? It just like, oh, the motorcycle gang is going to fuck shit up, and I'm like, where? Who stated this? Is there a video from somebody in the gang saying this or anything? No, it's just, it's something that they keep on the social media keep saying, and you see like the same fucking video, and it's just like, nobody's disproving it, nobody's verified it. They're just saying we're monitoring the situation, but to me it sounds like that's what they want to happen. Like, I don't know who's they, I don't know, but that's something that everybody like is looking forward to, that altercation or whatever the fuck, or like, let's make it happen. It's like a show, and I don't know. But going back to Zuckerberg, like, he apologized to me. The rumor is there's like all this stuff circulating that there's going to be a whistleblower coming out saying how um they kind of, maybe the social media companies allegedly went to them, and they were like, what are we doing here? We need you guys to guide us, and like somebody's gonna come on and point fingers and say they did this because of this, like some whistle. That's the rumor, and they're trying to get ahead of it. um that's why this came out. And the other thing, there was another article saying that the Biden, he admitted that the FBI came to them and told them the Biden laptop was Russian misinformation. And later I got verified that it isn't. So they're like, I'm telling you, something's gearing up to say like, oh, they told us this and this. They're gonna start pointing fingers of who said that this shit's not fake. Like, that's where all this is going, and something's gonna come out of it.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I like I said a while ago, I've been trying to stay away from social media. Up until you wrote the Colorado thing, I didn't really know about it. But to be honest, with it being the holidays, I haven't really even watched a lot of the news. I try to watch the news Um, God knows what they're showing me. And I try to keep up with like news sites, like you said, or like I was saying, AP News and stuff like that. But I just, while you were talking a little bit ago, I just went to Apple News. I just scrolled through that for like 2 minutes while you were talking. Nothing about Colorado. There's no mention of the motorcycles. There's no mention of anything. So somebody that doesn't know anything like me, I didn't know about it. I wouldn't have known about Colorado. I wouldn't have known. To me, everything is normal.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the news people are controlling what you see and what you read, what you hear, but social media gives you that. It used to be like freer, I would say, like you get more information, but now even that's being controlled or that can be manipulated, and that's like a big problem. So, we'll see. I mean, it is it's a web that you have to like navigate, man, because there's a lot of BS out there. And sometimes a lot of it's true, sometimes it's a lot of it fake, and then with the AI stuff that we kind of talked about, like with our logo, that it's funny, but AI is a serious thing in that it can create a lot of like fake stuff, and it looks real, and it's getting just better and better to it's getting better at making fake shit look real, and that's gonna be another big fucking problem. And I saw a meme the other day, like I think a couple days ago was the day where Skynet went, it became self-aware. That's when all the Terminators shit. And I'm thinking like, man, we're not too far from that. We're not too far from that, and with AI, and now I know Elon Musk was talking about it years ago how serious, and people kind of like looked at him like what a weirdo, but now it's all you hear now is AI and how this is gonna change everything, and they're trying to push it for the better. I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of nervous, man. Like, what are you gonna do when that thing becomes self-aware? Like, we've seen so many movies, science fiction stuff, for like when the computers or the robots become aware, you're gonna run into problems.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny that we're talking about AI and all this stuff. I got a message today because usually I turn on my computer early when we're going to record, just in case there's updates and other stuff that my PC needs to do. When I came back after letting it chill for a few minutes and do what it's got to do, I noticed that Norton, because I got Norton antivirus, had gave me a prompt that said how to identify deep fakes videos. And I'm like, what? What the hell is this? So I clicked on it because usually they advertise a bunch of stuff, add-ons, and other packages to buy. So I clicked on it, and it had like a five reel thing, like slides, kind of telling you these are the ways you can figure out if it's a deep fake video because AI is becoming more prominent out there. There's harder ways to find out. So it was showing you like, yeah, look at their eyes, look at the hands, look at this. And it was just really weird that they were showing me that. I'm like, man, is this like, they're getting you ready for the election because there's going to be a lot of deep fakes coming out. I'm like, it's kind of curious that it's coming out and now we're talking about it. I know the original article is about COVID and Facebook, but I think stuff like this is going to become common through all social medias and any type of broadcast of stuff like that.
Well, if we look at, I mean, just quick, Facebook has their AI in the app, and like, have you ever used it? Like, it gives you all this fucking information, or it even tells you now what the people in the comments. It gives you like this quick summary of what people are saying about like that massive. Like, if there's a news article or someone posting like um, just anything, like a picture, and it has like a lot of replies. Oh, people in the comments are saying that this place is beautiful, but it also some people are saying that it has many bums or like homelessness or something. Like, you don't even have to read the comments; it's summarizing it for you. But like, if you don't read it, are you gonna trust this fucking thing? And then when you search on Facebook too, it has their AI trying to tell you shit or whatever, and I'm just like, this is like, it's good and bad. Like, I don't know. And you got to be like, you got to put trust in it that it's not being manipulated or something to steer you away from something. Because that's the conspiracy person in me. So yeah, it is. It's an interesting time. The next 20 years, it's going to be crazy. I think with AI and Neuralink, Elon Musk. I know Noel's a big proponent of it. Like talking about, we're like a couple years away from more human trials. I know they've done it a couple times, but you haven't heard really anything of it since he said it a couple years ago on that podcast.
Even that new internet, I saw a bunch of advertising for that new internet that he's got going on. So, yeah, definitely crazy times nowadays. Yeah, all I could do is tell you guys, go to Facebook, go to X, but go to Freeform Network. That's where the real stuff is. We'd like to thank you all for listening. Remember to follow us on social media. Send in those questions and suggestions, ffnquestions@gmail.com. Visit that webpage, man, freeformnetwork.podbean.com. Like you heard Andy, he's always looking for new logos and stuff. So take a peek. You might see something new in there. Follow us on whatever platform you're using, Stitcher, iTunes, Podbean, whatever other place that you're listening to us. Hit that like button and subscribe. We really appreciate it. But for Freeform Radio, we got Andy.
So good, Andy. And I do have one accomplishment this weekend. I did put up a really cheap antenna. They got a shitload of channels now over the air.
Nice. We'll have to hear your review on the next episode because I'm interested in that too, man. And we got Noel.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening and joining us. I'm going to probably load up some Assassin's Creed after this, and I'll give you guys that review in the next one.
Nice. And I'm Daniel. I'd like to thank you all for listening. Enjoy yourselves out there, people. The world's getting crazy, so enjoy those days.
That was cool, Dad.